All right, welcome back to Almost Above Average. I am Chris McIntyre, and today we're going to break down what I honestly think is the most deranged speeches Donald Trump has ever given as president, and that's saying something. This is a speech where he rants about the Supreme Court, threatens to blow up global trading systems with tariffs, and basically tells America it's my way or the highway, all while pretending the economy is perfect and anyone who disagrees with him is the enemy. I'm going to play you some clips. I'm going to break down the lies, the gaslighting, and the dangerous parts that most people will forget by tomorrow, and then talk about what it means for the regular people like you and me trying to run businesses and pay bills and stay sane. So grab a drink, hit if you're watching this live or on replay, and let's get into it. Here's a quick backstory so this makes sense. The Supreme Court just smacked down a big chunk of Trump's so-called emergency tariffs, saying that he overreached on his power to tax the world by himself.
Those justices. When you read the dissenting opinions, there's no way that anyone can argue against them. There's no way.
Instead of taking the L like a normal president, Trump runs to the cameras and delivers this dark, ranty speech where he trashes the justices, including some that he appointed, and basically says he's going to do what he wants anyway. And on top of that, he's in full sales mode, bragging that the economy is the hottest anywhere in the world and that prices are going down really rapidly, and that murders are at a 125-year low, like he's fixed everything by sheer vibes. Is everyone experiencing that? Is this the greatest economy you've ever experienced as an American? Not me. As a business owner, I'm watching this like, my God, I see my material costs. I see my insurance costs. I see my loan quotes. You can't just talk reality into existence with a microphone. Piece of shit. Let's start with this part in this speech on February 20th. Trump says he's ashamed of certain Supreme Court justices for not having the courage to back his tariffs.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed.
He then announces he's slapping a 10% global tariff on basically everyone, using another part of the trade law, section 122, as if the court never said anything. Hey guys, just a quick reminder to hit subscribe, hit like, and leave a comment. Back to the video.
Period of a year under the various tariff authorities, so we can use other of the statutes, other of the tariff authorities, which have also been confirmed and are fully allowed. Therefore, effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs, they're existing, they're there, remain in place, fully in place, and in full force and effect. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122, over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. And we're also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country.
Think about how wild that is. You lose a major case at the highest court in the country, and your response is, I'm ashamed of them. They are disloyal. I'll just find another way to do what I want. That's not just petty, that's authoritarian energy. And this isn't some side issue. Tariffs hit everything: materials, cars, appliances, roofing, groceries, you name it. Economists are already saying growth is slowed and inflation's sticky, but he's in here playing tough guy with the entire global economy. Then when you get to the ego segment, at the tariff speech and at the governor's dinner, he brags that they set a record every time, that they turned chaos into order, and calls it an incredible first year.
And it really is too. Many, many friends and very competent people. Over the past year, we've already achieved a historic turnaround for our country. With unprecedented speed, we solved intractable problems. We really have done something. It's been an incredible first year for all of us. We've transformed stagnation into growth, weakness into strength, and chaos into order.
He claims the border is secure, murders are at a 125-year low, and core inflation is the lowest in 5 years and going down, even as official data shows growth slowing, and the Fed's still worried about inflation.
Today, our border is secure. Murders are at a 125-year low. Think of that. Core inflation is the lowest in 5 years and going down. Prices are going down really rapidly. We inherited a mess, and we brought them down a lot, and we're going to go still further. And our military is more powerful than ever before, and we're just respected all over the world.
This is where the speech turns from just angry to straight up disconnected from reality. You can't say prices are going down really rapidly while Americans are getting hammered by housing costs, debt, and higher interest rates. As someone in the construction and the trades, I see customers hesitate on big projects because their payments are higher, not lower. The numbers in his speech feel like they're from a different planet than what regular people are experiencing. And here's the part that really crosses into dangerous territory. Trump openly says he doesn't need Congress, that he already has authority, and that the court's decision basically just means a slightly more complicated process while he collects even more tariffs.
Then she said, but sir, we are a small country. I said, you're a small country with a big deficit. For us, you're making a lot of money off the United States. If we do that, a lot of these elite countries, they're elite because we let them make so much money. And I want them to do well, but I don't want them to do well on the backs of the American taxpayer. So I appreciate your question.
He's making it clear that no matter what other branches say, Congress, the courts, he sees himself as the final word. He sees himself as a king. You don't have to be some constitutional scholar to see this issue. The entire system is built on checks and balances. And he's on camera saying, I'm ashamed of the court. They're disloyal. And I'm going to plow ahead anyway. The sheer ego of a man that can look at the Supreme Court and said, you're disloyal. I'm going to do it anyway. The balls on this man. Imagine if another president used this same logic on something you do care about. Guns, speech, protest, whatever. If you're okay with this kind of power grab when your guy does it, you're going to hate it when the other team uses the same playbook. So why am I calling this speech deranged? It's not just that he's mad. Anger can be rational. It's the combination of trashing the court, ignoring the ruling, inflating his own success, and rewriting reality while other people are struggling. He's telling a story where he's the heroic victim. The courts are weak. Other countries are ripping us off. The media lies, and only he has the guts to fix it, even if that means breaking the rules.
Yeah, Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. So, since Liberation Day, there's about $175 billion in tariff revenue that is now in limbo. Do you have to refund $175 billion?
Think of it, Peter. Very fair question. They take months and months to write an opinion, and they don't even discuss that point. We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars, not millions, hundreds of billions of dollars. And so I said, well, what happens to all the money that we took in? It wasn't discussed. Wouldn't you think they would have put one sentence in there saying that keep the money or don't keep the money, right? I guess it has to get litigated for the next 2 years. So they write this terrible, defective decision, totally defective.
That narrative is seductive for people who feel left behind, but it's also incredibly dangerous because it gives permission to blow through every guardrail in the name of fighting back. As someone who runs a business and lives in the real world economy, I don't have time for fantasy politics. If your policies raise my costs, shake markets, and create chaos, I feel that long before I feel your speeches. And I've said this story before. I started this roofing company in April of last year. 30 days later, all of my prices immediately went up 20%, and they have not gone down. So here's what this means if you're not a politics junkie. Number one, tariffs are taxes. They land on us. Higher global tariffs mean higher prices on imported materials and goods, and those costs ripple through everything from housing and food. Number two, investors and businesses hate uncertainty. Every time Trump threatens a new tariff, defies a court, or escalates a trade war, it makes planning harder, and that can hit jobs, wages, and growth. Number three, the more a president acts like the courts and Congress are optional, the shakier our whole system gets. Maybe that sounds abstract until the day you need the system to protect you from somebody else's power trip. At the end of the day, you don't have to agree with me on Trump. You can love him, hate him, or be completely over all of it. I don't care. But watch the speech for yourself. Listen to how he talks about power, about the courts, about tariffs, about the economy. Ask yourself, does this look like true leadership, or does this sound like a man who can't accept limits? I'll put the links in the description so you can fact check every clip and every claim on your own. And if you want more breakdowns like this, not just the surface level Trump said a crazy thing, but what it actually means for our daily lives, hit like, drop a comment with your thoughts, and subscribe to the Almost Above Average podcast. I am Chris McIntyre, and we'll see you on the next one. Boosh.